Hello, all my wonderful people, and in today's episode, we're actually going to be remaking this painting here, but on this wee little tiny of a little canvas here, just so we can make things speed up a little bit. So, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using a flat brush. This one's more of a large to medium-sized brush, but I'm going to keep actually using the colors that I used on my last painting. Although I'm not going to be using all of the colors, I still want to actually not waste paint. So here I go. Here I go. Here I go again. All right. What I'm going to do is let's have some fun. Let's go ahead and just shape out some stuff. So you can see that painting right there. I'm going to go ahead and just add a nice little line going like this. And I'm going to go ahead and just pre-make some towers of this waterfall. It's almost like a birthday cake, really. Just stack it one on top of each other right there. Okay, so I've got my basic shape. I do need to go ahead and just fill this in. I'm going to go ahead and use my flat side of my brush though, and just go ahead and just start coming down. But as I'm coming down and going further out, I want to kind of go with the flow of this original line. What do I mean? You can see I'm just kind of bending that brush, and you can see I'm just kind of going in that motion. So it looks like the water's actually coming from that waterfall. It's giving it a nice illusion. We're going to fill that in very quickly. And the lines of the paint, you can see it's a little texturized. That means it's actually doing the job for me. I can actually just sit there and let this paint do the work for me and create that natural bit of texture. Now, I still got a little bit of blue on this brush. I'm just going to wipe it off right there on my napkin, and now add a lot of green. It's okay if there's a little blue still left on your brush, but this one's a fun part. We're going to fill this in. It's fun because it's an easy part. It makes it nice and easy, and it's okay if there's all these random textures and brush strokes, no big deal. To get too much green into that birthday cake right there. You can see got a little bit in there, but that's okay. We'll just let that dry off and cover that up. All right, still going strong here. All right, now you can see this green that I have is definitely a thin green. So I do want to get rid of some of those brush strokes, and a good way of doing that is actually blotting or dabbing your brush. And I'm actually holding this canvas up while I'm doing this, so we'll see how good I do. All right, got some awesome texture. There we go. Go ahead and set that brush down and pick up another flat brush. This one can be smaller, bigger, whatever you want, but we're going to go ahead and make some light blue. That means white and blue. And we're going to add some brush strokes, just going up and down right here. I'm going to add a little bit more blue so we can see that. Get a little bit yellow where I just got my yellow on there, so that's okay. Like I said, I'm using some paints that I already used on a previous painting, but I don't like wasting paint. Bums me out when that happens. Alright, got my blue going, don't worry, we just kind of colored it in for now, so you can just have a little bit of fun with that. We're going to let that dry off a little bit, this texturized blue right there. And then what I want you to do is go ahead and you can add whatever little bit left over you have on your brush. You can make some lines going right here, add some highlights. Okay, so now it gives the illusion that water's coming at us. We're going to let that dry, and we're going to start working on our background. So I'm going to switch back over to my brush here and put some blue and green together, and I'm going to start blotting and dabbing a little bit more blue than green, and I'm going to break up some of that original green. And there we go, very random brush strokes and dabbing, and I'm twirling and spinning my brush around a little bit just to give it some different kinds of texture. You can see I can add a little bit of darkness near those waterfall areas. Alright, this one's coming together so fast. It's so nice when you paint on these little canvases, as it tends to go by a lot quicker. Yes. All right, so we're off to the races. We got that going here. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna add some black on that brush and really darken up some of these areas. We want to make it kind of like a thick jungle brush, and I really love this, how this starts to come out here. You can see it's just a beautiful, beautiful amount of contrast now going on, and that makes it a little bit more like a deep jungle, and it really actually brightens up your waterfall quite a bit. Again, I'm blotting and dabbing, very random. I still want to see a lot of that original blues and greens, but the black adds such a spectacular shadow effect. You don't want to do too much black because it will overpower your painting. All right, I like doing the edges too because it gives it that look of framing the painting just naturally by having that. All right, so we're gonna let this dry off a little bit there. Now you're more than welcome to take a small brush too. This is where you can add, you know, maybe some details if you want, like, you know, maybe some sticks or something coming out here very randomly. Maybe making your palm start to have a little bit of like spikes coming out. It just kind of just makes that fun effect right there. So you can see, boom, look at that. We're getting there, we're getting there. All right, now time for some highlights. What we want to do is we want to make it look like this nice little waterfall is actually crashing down below. So I'm just blotting some plain white on a small brush and just seeing what textures come off. Now all this paint is still very wet because I am just flying through this painting very quickly, and it's better to try to let some of these layers dry off. But I guess I really want to show you what I'm just kind of working on and how fast you can actually do some of these paintings. So I'm just going to do it fast for you. All right, look at that. We got our top waterfall. Now we can even add some of this kind of coming down. You just take the flat side of your brush and you can just bring some of this down and even up. You can kind of just break it up a little bit. And that gives that illusion that there's some sparkles, some highlights of running water now. And don't forget your top bit here. Let's go ahead and add a little bit here, and let's make some lines coming down here, breaking up some of that white. Now what's a fun part too is when you can add the details of, like, see these highlights coming down here. So you want to kind of give it the illusion that it's coming away from you, these cascading waters, or there's motion to it. So these are just little lines, little dashes of highlights just coming right at us. There we go. Now we're on a mission here. We're doing it. Let's take a little bit more white and let's just add some random waterfall action just coming down here. Now we're starting to get into details where you can see it just gives a little bit of a nice jazz to it. Now what I want to do is start to add maybe some cool highlights in this jungle. I want to go ahead and put some plain yellow and add maybe some spikes of some of this yellow. It will blend a little bit in the green, so that's fine. But adding some natural fun highlights too helps this painting really come alive. Gives it that beautiful kind of jungle effect. Lots of color, lots of things going on in this jungle. Lots of life, I'm sure. And I'm just going to dab and blot a little bit, make it happen right there. And there you go. There's a painting right there. We've got this waterfall. It's kind of happening like there. You can see there are differences in each painting. You can just have fun with it. You can really just mess around with it. So, like, you know, let's just say, you know, I want to do maybe some darker points under this water, you know, just add, you can add and take away whatever you want. All right, so you can see I just added some turquoise on my brush, blue and green, and just, you know, made it a little bit darker in areas. You know, whatever you want to do. This is your painting. Just have fun with it. Experiment with color. It's so fun to do. But there you go. Hope you enjoy. Again, another painting. We just handled this like a boss, man, making it happen. So congratulations. Keep it going and take your time. Have fun with it.